There you are. Welcome back. My name is Patrick, but you can call me 26. And what you're going to do today is we are going to figure out how you can save images and things like videos to SwiftData. Before we get to today's business, you could have a look at my course. That is the e-commerce full stack application. And what we build is iStore. And iStore, we build the front end and the back end. And iStore does use SwiftData. We use SwiftData in persisting our cart. So whenever you close the app, we save the contents of what you want to get into a cart. And in this cart, which also has a map, you can pick the location like so and do that. And this is persisted using SwiftData. And also among our carts, we have favorites, right? So we have our favorites here, and you could save the favorites, and the favorites are products that you like that you would want to maybe go back and later on buy. And this also uses SwiftData to save our particular favorites, right? So we do that. And also on top of it, we figure out how we can work with the observable macro when you're dealing with SwiftData. So all these are projects that we actually implement in this application. If you'd like to see the complete project, have a look at the link in the description. If you're going to see the 26-hour project in its entirety plus the source code. If you would like to see the first 12 hours of the project, they're available on my page on this channel, right? So have a look at that. Now let's get to the business of it, right? So the very first thing we want to do, let's run our app and see what it looks like. So we are using the Rick and Morty API app, right? And currently we just have the names, but we're not using their images, right? So we have the names of the various characters from the Rick and Morty API, but we're not using the images, right? So what we'd want to do is we would want to get first this macro called attribute external storage, right? This is usually just an optimization, and its job is to optimize the storage of binary files, right, associated with the particular model, right? So in this case, this is our image. When you save an instance of the model and you mark it with the property with external storage, right? That is attribute external storage, SwiftData automatically writes the data of that property to a distinct file, I think in the file system, and then saves it to a private location that it manages, right? And then when you fetch this data, it's going to be lazy loaded such that we optimize the way we get it, right? So with the lazy loading, it's going to make sure that even because the data is large in this case, which is going to be an image or could even be a video, it's going to be fetched lazily, and it's going to be a lot more optimized for performance of your app, right? So this is good when you're dealing with large amounts of data, right? Things like videos and stuff like that, right? So you could come here and we say image data, and then afterwards come here and say we want to say, let's say, okay, let's come here and we say we want to say, what do we want to say? We want to say attribute, and the attribute in question is just going to be dot external storage, right? That is done, right? And that's going to be that, and of course it's going to complain, and what we could say here is going to be image data is going to be nil, like so. And then we could come here and we say self, we could come here and we say self dot image is going to be image, right? That is going to be that's just making our image available here, and that's going to be no complaints. Now we actually need to download the particular image, and we could get the function that does that, right? Now this is going to be a straightforward function. Nothing too special about it, nothing fancy. Just going to download the particular image, right? Let's just figure out this one ends here. This is the background. The import characters ends here. So we come here, paste this here. And this is just going to be a predicate. And this predicate is going to check all the images that do not have, all the characters that do not have an email, right? So we get the particular characters without images, right? And then we fetch from our model context. And then we loop through them. We say for character and characters without images, right? So if they're characters without images, get the character.image URL, right? And when you get it from the URL session here, you just save it to the character.image, you put the data there, and then you save. And then afterwards, because it can fail, you have a do catch block, and then you just save the context there, right? So this is saved, and this is going to work for a particular background. It's going to work on the background, right? So that is done. With that done, the next thing we need to do is we need to figure out where we're going to call this download images, right? So we could call the download images, right? We want the name to come first. So we want to come here and we say, do that. Await download images, right? So we call it in the import characters. Now we're going to call download images. But now we're not using it, right? So where do we use it? We need to go back to the character row. So let's come back to the character row. Instead of the async image, which we were using before, we're just going to use the image now, right? So we come here and we say something like image. We probably need another function. We need a helper function that deals with images, right? So that it can show a placeholder while all this is going on in the background, right? So let's just come here, copy this, go back to character model here, right? So this is going to be this extension here. And what we could do here is just come and paste this, right? This is just going to take care of our image and show, does it have, okay, it requires a closing brace, right? So what it's going to show is going to show a system name of the SF symbol of our photo, right? When you're doing that, right? So let's try building it. I don't know, it's giving me a sort of warning. Okay, the warning is gone, that's sorted. Let's come back to our character row, and what we want here is going to be an image. And here we're going to have the UI image, and the image in question is just going to be the character dot, and we call the function, right? This is going to be a computed property, right? So now we have access to the view image, right? So we have that computed property, and we could say something like, we could copy the rest of this, right? So that's going to be that, and that's going to be that, right? And we don't need to put a placeholder here because we're going to show the SF symbol. We're pretty sure the SF symbol is there, right? So that's going to be this, and we just copy the code from there, right? That's the frame. That is done, right? And we now have everything we need. Do we have anything else we need to do? I think that's it, right? So let's just stop this, run this, and if we are doing it correct, we should see this, and then if we wait, it should eventually have the images, right? If everything goes according to plan. So if we scroll like this, okay, let's just close and start it off from scratch, right? Remove this app, delete this app, delete, and then now let's run it, right? Okay, this is going to be it. This is it. It's going to take a bit of time. I'm guessing we're waiting on it. We're waiting for the green light, and it should, okay. It's taking a bit of time, taking its sweet time. Okay, here it is, right? The issue was that we were doing our tasks in the background. The priority of the tasks is set to the background, which is the slowest of 5 options. What we could do is we could set it to, if you wanted to be on the fastest one, user initiated like so. And now if you run it, you can delete the app and then open it, and you will find that it's a bit more zippy and get to it a bit faster, right? So I just close the simulator, and now it's coming from a standing start, and you see it appears immediately, right? So if you do put it on the background and then do the changes that we did to make sure that we lazy load it, it's going to be very, very, very slow, right? But if you want it to be a bit faster, make sure that the task priority, because this is an on appear thing, right? It should be the fastest, which is going to be user initiated. I just wanted to show you how you can load it on the background, right? So this is basically how you would do it, and we can now check that this is actually being loaded from this has actually been cached in the simulator by just stopping it and starting it, right? And now you won't notice any lag. It will be there immediately, right? So you stop, start, and boom, there it is, right? That means that this images and this information has actually been cached, and it's being read from the simulator and has been saved to SwiftData, right? So basically that, right? So thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.